I'm your host, the seventh wonder of the world, Taj Mahal, and this is the Seventh Wonder Podcast. What's going on, people? I got a special guest too. Now, my lady here, she's gonna be a media mogul in the future. I promise you that, man. She's gonna be very successful. Right now, you can catch her up on YouTube under Aisha Go. I'm not really feeling her fan base. They be kind of cringy in those comments, but other than that, man, y'all give it up for Aisha Go. Aisha, say what's up to the
I
people though.
what's wrong with my subscribers, my
Bro, I
supporters?
was I was going through looking at the comments and shit. You know, you get the homies out there like, oh yeah, man, this is a great one. Oh, this is good. Next thing I know, here come the creep squad gotta fall through.
I
Yeah,
mean,
girl, you fine. Yeah, girl, big titty this, big titty that. I'm like,
yeah.
bro, you can't
I mean,
never go nowhere without the
it's gonna
creeps.
happen, especially on something like YouTube where you have a lot of creeps and trolls and stuff.
Hmm.
But what I've learned to do is just kind of let people express themselves and not take anything too seriously.
For
So I
sure.
let them go off in the comments because I'm like, all right, I'm talking a whole bunch of shit, excuse my language, about celebrities and stuff. I can't be in my feelings if somebody says something about me. So I let them have fun.
For sure. Now, hey, now you can cuss, you can talk however you
Oh,
want to
okay.
talk on this show. This no
Well, in
hold
that
bars
case,
over here. You know what I'm saying? We keep it
okay.
clear. What was I gonna say to you? So, how long you been doing your YouTube thing?
Ah, man, YouTube. Me and YouTube have had a very uh, tumultuous, rocky relationship. So I first started off doing YouTube videos. I want to say maybe 2013, 2014. I wasn't consistent with it, so then I stopped. But then last year, I actually came. So 2018 actually came back being more consistent.
Mm,
So last year, that's when I started to actually figure out what my voice was going to be on the platform, what type of videos I was going to do. And that's when I really started to build up my supporters and subscribers. So I want to say it's been like a year and a half of consistency.
for sure. Cause you
Yeah.
got a nice little format laid out. I don't know if you're doing this straight from the ground up, where you or if you had somebody build your websites or kind of like do your advertisements and everything.
Not at all. Like I'm the epitome of from the mud.
From the
So
mud.
So even the supporters and subscribers that I have now, it's taken me a long time to get that. Again, I've had my YouTube since I think 2013. So
Mm-hmm.
that's like 5 years just to get to where I am now. And even when it comes to the format of the videos that I do, how I like my production, because I'm a one man band literally. So I'm
For
doing
sure.
pre-production, production, post-production, marketing. Like I'm doing all of that myself,
Mm.
along with me being a woman and having to make sure I look a certain way and
Mm-hmm.
make sure my appearance is on point. So I'm doing all that by myself. But the reason why I'm able to do it is because it's been so much time of me thinking about it. So
Mm-hmm.
the times when I wasn't actively putting out videos or actively recording, I've always been thinking about it. I have journals of me just jotting things down, realizing like, okay, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to be different? Like, what is it that people want? How do I feel as though I could connect with people with my content? So it's
For
been
sure.
lots of planning into it.
Definitely. And it looks pretty fire. I'm not going to lie to you, man, because I was just scrolling through my Facebook and then one time I happened to see an ad from you. I'm like, damn, this real smooth how you got your ads and how they play out. So, hey, man, big shout out to you for that, man. You've been on the grind doing your thing consistently and it's looking like it's starting to pay off. You know, we're not at the level we want to be, but we just, as long as you stay how you are, man, you're going to get to where you need to go.
Listen, as the late great Nipsey said, the
Hmm.
marathon continues. You
The
got to
marathon
focus on
continues.
the marathon. You can't be worried about sprinting and
Hmm.
instant gratification. You got to go for the long haul. So
The
that's what
long
we're doing.
haul, man. 100%,
Yeah,
man. Speaking of Nip, first and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to the homie Nip Hustle, one of the
absolutely.
greatest human beings, let alone rappers, just one of the greatest human beings to come from the mud. You know, he's like the rose that grew from the concrete. And man, ever since he passed away, it's been a heavy cloud over rap, and just really the music industry, period. But Man, I really do miss the homie. It's crazy because we don't know him personally, but man, it's just his effect on not only the people but music in general. You feel that because it's always been so real. You feel me?
Yeah, and just like so celebrities and public figures in general, we always end up feeling some sort of tie and connection to them, whether it's they're letting us in through their life, if it's through music or acting or whatever their art is that they're giving us to the world. And then to see someone that you've never heard of any type of controversy, any type of issue, someone that's just always been looked at positively, and someone that everyone has had nothing but good things to say about it. It's hard.
Yeah,
You
it's
take it
real
really
hard.
hard.
Real hard,
Yeah.
man. I had never heard anybody put any kind of smut on my dog name. He always came through solid, no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, and even now, look at how many people went and got this man tattooed on them. You got Lauren London, of course. You got Rick Ross, Game. Russ got a tattoo of him. J.R. Smith. So like, you really see the effects and influence that he had on us. So rest in
Without a
peace,
doubt.
King Nip. Like very
King Nip.
just
Rest in
yeah,
peace.
King Royal. Like everything
For
about him
sure.
was just on a different level.
With the funeral on Thursday, and I know a lot of different places were broadcasting it, like Tidal for sure. TMZ had a little bit they were broadcasting, but for the most part, you could probably end up catching it on social media. The majority of it. Did you see any other speeches?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't because I'm not mentally ready yet
Yeah,
to
for sure.
accept that this is true and that this is actually happening. So I've seen bits and pieces. I've heard some of Lauren's speech. I heard some of her son's speech too when he talked about that dream that he had, and that in itself had me like, okay, I know if I watch any more of this, I'm definitely gonna start crying. But I haven't been able to, but I've heard great things about it. I heard it was beautiful. I heard his brother's speech too was
Oh
very
man.
touching. And again, I'm not ready yet, but I'm gonna watch it soon. And when I do, of course, I'm gonna watch it on Tidal. Gotta, Jay-Z and Beyonce look like my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law in my head, so I got support.
For sure.
But I'm just not ready there.
There we go.
Not ready
Support
yet.
black businesses for sure.
Of course, always.
Hell yeah, man. But I wish you would have saw when his brother was speaking, man. His brother, Black Sam, man, he was standing tall. You know, it turns out Black Sam was one of the first responders really after he had got shot. And, it's bittersweet, that he was able to hold his brother for the last time before his brother passed away. But he gave a very good speech about his bro. He was just talking about how he got into a fight and he got knocked out unconscious. And when he woke up, he talked about how Nip was holding it down, was fighting the homie back, chasing down the block, or how Nip built a computer when he was 12. Nipsey was kind of like he was a brilliant guy, but he just didn't have the resources necessary to see him excel, which in a lot of cases in our communities, it's always like that.
All the time.
All the
Like
time.
I talked to my mother about this recently, just telling her I honestly think the most brilliant people that I've met have been the people from the hood, from the projects, and it's because they don't have those resources and they gotta find a way to get it or do whatever it is that they want to do. So you gotta think of different ways. You gotta be creative, innovative, and you do all these different things. And again, if you go into the hood, you'll meet people that could have conversations with you about stuff you didn't never even known about. People telling you about
100%.
NASA and space, and you're like, wait, what? Like, how do you know this? But I could definitely see Nipsey being like that as a young kid.
100%, man. I just really, it's just so hard even talking about it, man. I hate that he had to go in the manner that he did. I know it was very unexpected for him. I mean, he's coming from that street life out there. Gang banging is real in L.A. I come to find out.
Oh yes,
But
very.
100%. But even him coming from no kind of beginnings, like in his music, you never hear him like. I was just telling my lady about this. Like, you never hear Nipsey go on the track talk about how he finna run in your house and gun you down real bad or something like that. Everything that Nip said through his music was always motivational. It was always find yourself first, be good with yourself, get on your grind, stand 10 toes down, and you're gonna come up. And then of course,
Yep, ownership, knowing your worth,
a hundred
not just
percent.
settling, not just taking the first thing that's given to you, but really going out there and working for it and being able to come back and show why you deserve what you deserve. Like all of that. And I've been listening to, obviously, as long as a lot of people, been going back and re-listening to the music.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah,
And
shout out to
even
Joe
them
Budden.
talking about the music is kind of eerie in a way. Certain things that he says and talks about, like the irony of how he was rapping about this years ago, and then things are still happening today, or even how, you know, he was killed. Like, just these like real, just like eerie, ironic things that kind of remind you too of like Tupac when he was here.
I'm
How
telling
he
you,
kind of
man.
talked about certain things and predicted it in a way.
Well, it's power in your words, you know. So
Absolutely.
what you speak into existence, it's gonna come true for you, you know. He was like a prophet, man. He foreseen the future, you know, and he did as much as he could in his little bit of time of life, and it paid out tenfold, you know. It's gonna
Oh,
be
of
remembered
course.
forever.
Like Jay-Z just said when he accepted his award for the NAACP, it's not an amount of years that you live life, it's how much life you lived in your years. And Nipsey definitely lived a lot of life in the 33 years that he was on this earth. And again, just like when things like this happen, it really gets you just thinking about life in general. So I was thinking a whole bunch of thoughts, honestly. So I was thinking like, yo, what if when people pass, it's not a slight to them or it's nothing bad happening to them, but maybe it's God or the powers that be saying we didn't deserve this person that was so good and pure because we couldn't get our stuff together, and we're still out here focusing on things that don't matter and isn't important instead of looking at the bigger picture, loving one another, helping one another. So you kind of go down this rabbit hole of just thinking all these different thoughts. And
For sure.
I know his mom, oh my God. Did you hear what his mom said?
Nah, that's the only thing I missed. I didn't really hear what his mom said though.
So, like days before the memorial, his mom was saying that, like, you know, not to mourn for him, like he's in a better place now, that he's like not within his body, his spirit is limitless and boundless. He could do all these things. He knows all the beauties and secrets of life. And like the way she was just talking, it just made you feel so much more at ease about dealing with death and loss and realizing that it's not the end, and that is actually something beautiful about whoever it is, your loved one, going to that next part of, I don't want to say life, but going to that next chapter because they're at peace, they're in a paradise, they're not suffering, they're not in any type of pain. Like the way she broke it down, I was just like, this woman is incredibly strong to have just lost her son, and for her to be this strong and giving us, the public, reassurance that things are going to be okay and that not to be sad. I was just like, man, this woman is amazing.
Man.
Amazing. So if you can, definitely listen to it. Listen to what she had to say.
I gotta check that out for sure. Well, as far as this Nip topic goes, though, I just wanted to ask you a question as far as this. So, like you said, a lot of people are going back, checking in on different albums from Nip, specifically, of course, Victory Lap, because that was his latest first album. Out of all the years he was grinding, she's been doing this 2003. He finally dropped his first album last year. Grammy nominated. He worked real hard for this point, man. We've been following the homie for a long time. And for him to be able to sell more, I mean, this happens with everybody. He was able to sell more after he passed than he was when he first released. It never took away from the quality of the product because, really, honestly, we're gonna keep it 1,000 while, bro. Nipsey album was best rap album of the year. Fuck what the Grammys talking about, but you know how that politic go.
Oh yeah, of course.
But do you think that because of him passing helps with people viewing the album as much more quality than it would have been if he was just still here? Because to the fans, you can't tell them shit. But even to the non-fans, it was still a great album. Great rap album. Album of the year for sure.
Yeah, so I just think that in art in general, like this happens all the time just in art. So we see it with hip hop, we see it in music in general when like someone like a Michael Jackson passes, how his entire catalog is in the charts and reappearing, and it just happens in art in general. Look at people that are artists and painters. Their paintings and their works of art are auctioned off for more money once they pass than when they were here. And I don't know if it's just because people appreciate it more or the masses become more aware when something unfortunately like this happens. But honestly, I'm just happy that people are able to know more about Nipsey. I'm happy to hear that his streams and sales have gone up 2,000%, that he owns his
Mm-hmm.
masters and his family will be able to eat and live off of this. And I'm happy just to hear that more people are getting the message, because I know there are a lot of hip hop purists that when things like this happen, they say, oh, but you wasn't listening to them before. Who cares? Like, if
Exactly.
it's quality, good music, you shouldn't care if somebody's there day one, if they come sometime in the middle, or if they're late to the party. Is all that matters is that they get there. It's better to be late than to never get there at all. So when people say those things like, oh, but you weren't listening to him when he was here, so it doesn't matter. People are listening now. People appreciate it now. You know what I mean? So that's all that matters.
Exactly, because people act like they don't have regular regular life going on outside of music. You know, a lot of people who caught on to Nipsey, unfortunately, due to his passing, were probably people who heard about Nip, and were always like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it," thinking that time is unlimited. And then my
Mm-hmm.
man passed away. You're like, "Damn, now I really got to focus in and go listen to it," because he done passed away. You know, it affects people differently, and that's why I don't even pay attention when people be like, "Oh yeah, you say you a fan. Well, why you wanna listen to it now?" That's just that he say she say shit that
And
just
it's just,
whatever.
it's so like trivial and minuscule and not even
Hmm.
important again when people do it. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm one of those people that I didn't last year, I didn't pay as much attention to victory laps as I should have. And it's not because I wasn't a fan of Nipsey. It was not because I didn't like the music, because I was a fan, still am a fan, and did like the music. But last year, specifically 2018, it was a huge year for albums. Like, every week there were
It
albums coming
was,
out.
bro.
It was new music coming out back to back to back. So especially now, like, everyone's trying to figure out how to make things work with streaming and views, and they think, more content equals more views. It's over inundated. Like, the industry is saturated. It's a lot going on. So again, I can't lie, I was one of those people, I didn't give victory lap as much attention as I should have. And unfortunately, it took his passing for me to do that. But once that happened, I sat back and actually listened to it, and I was like,
Hmm.
this is a beautiful body of work from beginning to end. There's nothing that you would skip. Most of the times I'm running the song back, listening to it 3 4 times before getting to the next track. So it just happens when it happens. Again, we just gotta learn to accept the fact that people are appreciating quality when they do, and not be so judgmental as to when they do it, or if they don't do it on a time that we would like it to happen.
That is for sure. You know, and then we live in an era where people talk about how the concentration is so low. Like, people don't pay attention as much as their attention span is so short that they don't really listen to the album like that. They trying to hear something and get on to the next thing because the market's so saturated with music. You don't even have time to be trying to listen to a whole album like that. Now unless you're an enthusiast like me who come from that old school cloth like that.
Yeah.
But Nipsey, we gonna miss you, bro.
Oh
Rest
my
in
God.
peace,
It's an
and
understatement.
prayers to his family.
Absolutely.
But let's move on to another topic, though. I got something
Oh
good here.
man.
One thing I want to talk about with you is what about you? How you feel about this little Nas X and this country music shit going on?
Listen, I'm so happy that little Nas X is going in there and fucking up
For
the country
sure.
music and infiltrating what they've done, because the hip hop community has always been welcoming to everybody, everyone. I don't care what no one says. You don't have to be black. You don't have to be from a hood near you. Like, they're
Nigga,
welcome.
what?
It's like black people in general. You know what I mean? Like, if you got a friend that's not black, your family's still telling you to bring them to the cookout. Your family's still telling them, oh, they could come to Easter dinner. So, but people haven't always been like that to us. So I'm glad that now little Nas X went in there and is fucking it up and giving these country people, making them nervous. And now, because they didn't want to let little Nas X in, and then Billy Ray came in,
Yeah.
now you got other people talking about doing country. You got Young Thug really talking about his country music. You
Mm-hmm.
got K. Michelle releasing her music. So it's like, y'all could have been cool and just let one of us in. We would have been happy. We would have been suffice with that, because we're always championing when it's like, oh, the first black person to do X, Y, and Z, and that stuff. Like, we take pride in it. But because y'all didn't want to be friendly and open-minded and diverse, now you got a whole bunch more black people knocking at your door like, well, I'm making country music too. And that's what they get. And I hope
Yeah.
a whole bunch of people make country albums. I'm ready for the cowboy hats. I just bought a pair of cowboy boots too. I'm
For
ready.
sure. I'm talking about. I'm finna go learn how to ride a horse. I'm finna pull up in the finest stallion that Country Roads in Georgia got. I'm telling you right now on
Listen,
everything.
and Solange already kind of got me in my whole like cowboy bag from her album When I Get Home. So I'm ready.
I'm
I'm a
telling you.
city girl, but I'm ready. I'll figure it
Hey,
out.
that Solange album was fire as fuck too, man. We gonna get into that. But what I wanted to say on this topic, man, what really had me hot, and it kind of still, when I think about shit like this, man, it always make me hot. I remember Vanessa, I can't remember her last name, but Vanessa, she the editor in chief at Double XL.
Oh, Vanessa Satin.
Vanessa
Saying,
sat in at Double XL was on the
yeah.
Breakfast Club. So I think Charlamagne asked him why Post wasn't on it, and she said that Post sent the letter saying like, well, yeah, I don't view my music as just more than rap.
Can I tell you I hate Post Malone?
The fuck no, hell no. I mean, you ain't mind jumping on, taking. I'm saying like people take from rap culture so much. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I hate Post Malone. Exactly what you just said. That's why I do not like him, because I
For
remember
sure.
that interview when she went up there and saying that Post Malone basically turned it down because he said what most of these people, musicians say, oh, I'm a quote unquote artist. I
I
don't want
hate
to
when
move.
niggas do that
I,
shit.
I'm like, y'all don't even play an instrument. How are you an artist? What are you talking about? You can't even read music. But I remember them saying that, and I was just so upset because I was just like, are you serious? This is hip hop is why you're known in Post Malone. Country music wasn't going to accept you, or you make songs that sound like hip hop, like his new song Wow, or you collaborate with different rappers like a 21 Savage, Quavo, and you get #1 records with them, but yeah, you don't want to be looked at as a hip hop
Oh,
artist.
nigga, what? Oh, hit him where it hurt. I'm telling you, you hit it
That
right on the
I'm telling,
spot.
like, Post Malone, I like his music, but I do not like him at all. If Post Malone could transfer his like music making ability and skill to somebody else in the culture, I would be so happy.
But it'll never stick though, man. Post Malone got something that we seem to can't never seem to get, and that's privilege. And
Oh yeah.
that's all. That's another topic for a whole nother day. But I do enjoy Post Malone's music though. I think the homie is hella dope. I've been fucking with the homie since White Iverson for sure. It's just that that type of shit when niggas get in the game and you been busting your ass to make music, the hits that take you and make you mainstream are rap songs. How dare you get on here and try to say that, man? Nah, I'm not no rapper. Nigga, you are a rapper. You top
Exactly.
100 on rap lists, nigga.
Exactly. And then they don't want to go to BET Awards, which I mean, to an extent, I can understand because sometimes BET Awards, I'll be looking at them like,
Man,
y'all need to
stop.
get it
Y'all need to
together.
stop that hating on
But
the BET Awards, man. You got, you know what I'm saying? You
listen,
got support.
listen, we gotta support, but sometimes they gotta do better too. But like Post Malone, you can't go to a BET Award or you can't go to these other black places, but yet you touring with Budweiser, doing these tours, and now they're accepting you again. Once you already made a name for yourself, what you made the name for yourself because of hip hop.
That's who you gonna be known as, and that's what you gonna represent. I
It's
hate when
like,
rappers. I hate when rappers do that type of shit. They want to be more than a rapper. No, nah, nigga, you just a rapper. And I hate when artists say like, "I'm not no rapper." Please stop saying that,
oh my God,
bro.
especially these SoundCloud guys or these #1s talking about
Stop
I'm
it.
not a rapper, I just make music, I'm an artist. You can't read music, okay? Like you can't. If I put you, you wouldn't be able to produce your own track. Don't say that you're an artist. Don't.
Niggas want to
Do
be
you paint?
Mozart so bad, bro.
Yeah. Do you paint? Do you sculpt? What do you do?
Xannies all day,
Yeah,
Molly all day.
you barely could rap. Like you over here, I call it cat in the hat rap when it's like like hat, bat, mat. Like you doing these simple, easy cadences and schemes. Like you barely a rapper. So shut up and be happy that you get some type of money.
For sure, man. Like these rappers nowadays are just full of themselves. But back to Lil Nas X, they did like you said, they took him off of the country charts. You know what I'm saying? Thought that was gonna stop the shine, but hold up, little ho, it ain't stopped nothing. The grind is still going on. The homie
Mm-hmm.
#1, he put the big dog, the one the #1 country. Like they can't say nothing about that. Put Billy Ray Cyrus on the remix.
Listen,
He
I'm
gonna be
waiting
on
for
the
the
country
video.
charts. He going to. It's a matter of
Yeah.
time. But my thing is this: Billboard has the power. I come to find out. I guess Billboard has the power to take people from one category and put them in another category. How come they don't do that with other artists who say they aren't artists?
Because they
Who say
don't
they're
have
not
that. They don't
rappers?
have that white cosign. They don't have that. Someone that gives them that stamp saying like, oh yeah, this person is cool. Oh yeah, they're okay. Lil Nas X happened to get it this time, and I'm grateful that he got it. And but we need more of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
And
what
I
I mean?
just
Like
really thought it was a.
I know Punch from TDE was saying that
Mm-hmm.
like SZA's album wasn't necessarily an R&B album, but they just placed her there because she's black and she sings.
I
Why
feel
she
you on
couldn't be
that.
considered like alternative? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
so, it's about having that cosign. Unfortunately,
for sure, man. Well, I hope that brother do well. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go places in the future that he probably never thought he could. One thing about the city, man, Atlanta, man, we put on a lot of different rappers, man. I would love to see him stay in that. I don't want to just keep him in that genre, but I would like to see him expand on that genre and see other artists come in and do rap country. So now that way, when I'm going down to Augusta or if I'm going down to like a place in South Georgia I don't got no business going or I might get hurt, then it's gonna be all good. I can do it the country way. I appreciate that, little
listen
Nas X.
again. I could see a lot of other artists, Young Thugs.
Oh,
I
hundred
could
percent.
definitely Young Thug. I know he's not from Atlanta, but Travis too. Travis could definitely
Travis could
get
kill
into
that.
country.
Yeah, Travis could
Yeah.
kill that. Him and Thug get together, they could definitely make a nice little country
Listen,
set.
Travis will have you emotional as hell on your horse, sad, contemplating life. But you know that when the beat drop,
Yeah,
it's
you know
gonna
it's gonna
pop.
be fun. That shit
Listen,
gonna pop.
of course.
Let me
And
see,
I
man.
hope that Lil Nas makes a video with Billy Ray in it, and I
Oh,
hope it's one of
100%.
the like. I hope it breaks all type of YouTube stats and views and stuff like that to show them, look,
Definitely.
accept this kid.
And I hope that opens up people's minds to be more accepting of different artists and let's cross like we do it all the time with pop. We do it all the time. You know what? Pop singers don't got no problem going to go grab a rapper, but it seemed to be a little bit harder to get pop singers on rapper songs for some reason. Like,
All the time. I think I'm trying to think. The last pop artist I can think that actually got on a rapper song, I'm gonna say Bruno Mars with that Gucci Mane song.
yeah, and that's big. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't
Yeah,
be a problem
because
on
I didn't
any
even
level.
expect that to happen. I was like, okay, but that was like the last time I really remember seeing a pop artist, someone of that magnitude, getting on a rapper song.
I'm trying to think. Like, you know, I guess you could. It'll probably be like. I'm just using this as an example. Like an artist like Sia. Like she
Yeah.
could probably get like a Chance the Rapper, Kanye, have them niggas come on there and do whatever they want to do on her track. I don't feel like if it's a lot harder to get her to come in and do something on the track. Like it's easy to go get a Scissor. It's easy to go get a Frank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And put them on a rap song. It's really hard to go get Madonna. Well, people who aren't people in the pop world who aren't really fascinated with rap. It's hard to go get them and then get them on the rap song.
Yeah, I was thinking. This was a couple years ago. I was thinking Halsey too on that G Easy record, but they was dating, so that
They
didn't
was
really.
dating, yeah.
Yeah,
He was
that's
dogging her
that was
out.
that was
You know what I'm
that
saying?
was just a roll over in bed. Like, yo, I got
Exactly.
this. I need you on it. All right.
But yeah, I want to see something like back in 2012 on "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." It was really Lady Gaga on the chorus. You know what I'm saying? But it never came out. They kind of leaked it out a little later on. But that was like shit like that. But like I said, it has to. I want to see it with somebody who don't really fuck with rap, but like don't have no problem with rap, and come in and
Going in. Yeah, I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to think who are pop stars right now. Even it seems like maybe because I'm not in that world, I don't hear too much about them.
I'm trying to. I don't know who yet. That's what I'm saying. I don't really
Yeah, like
listen.
you just sit there and think like, wait a minute. Oh, I guess like Dua Lipa. I know Kanye was saying he wanted to do something with her. But yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
think I'm
who's a
familiar
pop
with that.
star
Who
right
is
now?
that? Who is that artist that you just named?
Oh, Dua Lipa. I'll be honest. I only know about her because at work they play her song in the bathroom all the time. That's the only reason why I know about her. But she has that song "I Got No Rules."
Oh
If you
yeah.
hear,
Oh yeah.
yeah, her,
I got no rules. I got no. Yeah, I fuck with that.
yeah.
I fuck with that. That's heavy. For sure. All right. Moving on to the next topic. See what I got here. My next topic was about Coachella, man. I don't know if you was able to peep the Coachella. YouTube streams it for free. You can catch some of this. You gotta catch it at the right time, but you can catch some of the performances. Coachella was a little bit for the people that I wanted to see was okay, and I'm kind of upset Solange pulled out because I was looking forward to seeing that.
Me too. Honestly, Solange just needs to go on her own tour.
ASAP need to do that shit. Not now, but right now. She need to go ahead and just step onto a show.
Yeah.
ASAP.
So
But I
Coachella
was
this year
watching
was a little mediocre, lukewarm.
what? Which one?
Coachella?
Coachella was and that's what I really want to get into. How important is Coachella, you think, for artists now? Like,
It's not.
it's not. No.
No, I'm just saying simply, it's not. So what? Coachella became hot when, well, in hip hop when was that? Jay-Z or like Frank Ocean said it. That's when everybody was like Coachella crazy.
Mm.
I forgot. It's some song. I think it's either Frank Ocean or Jay-Z mentioned Coachella. That's when all us black people got excited about
That's when
Coachella.
black people are like, damn, Coachella. I need to
Yeah,
go to this.
exactly. I
If
want to be in
Frank say
desert.
it, I'm definitely a
Yeah.
part of that shit. If Frank say
But Coachella is there's so many other festivals now, and then
it
there's so many
is,
people within a culture that have their own festivals
it
that I think
is.
people get more enjoyment out of that. Like, so why am I going to Coachella? I could just go to Made in America. Or
And then
I
what
go
I
to
hear with Coachella is that it's I mean it's lit. It's just like any other festival. A lot of motherfuckers on drugs, a lot of vibes, but then it's like it's really hard to get around. It's hot as hell. It's really uncomfortable. Unless you really
yeah.
go in there to get drugged up and groove a little bit, it ain't really worth the hassle. You know what I'm saying?
Who got time to do all of that? And who got time to be trying to get an Uber back after Coachella in the desert to get like that's just too much.
Then you gotta go from stage to stage to find your favorite artist, and not just walk from one stage. I'm not finna go walk to another damn stage to go
I'm
see a
telling you,
motherfucker play two,
I
three
am
minutes.
absolutely fine watching from my live stream at home comfortably.
Hmm.
And with the live stream, they got a nice little camera up close. You see everything. You feel like you're there. That's good enough for me.
Hey, for sure. And then, like you said, man, it's a lot more competition nowadays. I know, like out here, you got, like you said, the artists. Artists do their own kind of festivals. Like Tyler the Creator does Flog Gnaw out
Can't
here.
talk now, yeah.
You even got certain companies doing their own shit, like Complex Con. Complex doing their own festivals. Shit, I'm finna throw me a festival real soon too. Shit,
Yo, listen, festivals are the wave right now. It's like
off top.
festival season. You got Coachella, and then towards the end of the month, you got Broccoli City in DC, but then
Yep,
you also got Pharrell Something in the Water in Virginia,
yep.
and then Made in America is gonna be coming at the end of the month, and like it's just so many different festivals to go to.
Yeah, and let's not forget Essence Festival. I know that's gonna be
Oh
popping
yeah,
up
of
real soon. That's always
course.
gonna be lit.
Essence Festival always. I mean, you in New Orleans, how could it
Oh yeah,
not
how
be?
can it not be? You dig what I'm saying?
Great
That's a
time,
little
but yeah,
short little topic there.
yeah, Coachella is. I
I
think we
guess
moved
just
on
a little bit
to.
of thumbs
I think we
down for
moved on to
Coachella.
bigger and better. Last year was good. You had
Of
Beyonce,
course
you
it
had
was good because
Cardi.
Beyonce, huh?
Of course, listen, I'm a proud member of the Northeast chapter of the Beehive, so of
Okay
course
then.
Beyonce shut it down. But Cardi too, pregnant and all, twerking,
Oh
bringing
yeah, that
YG
is true.
out,
I
like
forgot about that. That was last year.
yeah. But I think again, like it's so many other things for artists to do. People are going on tour all the time, so it doesn't have that same feel.
That is for sure. That is definitely for sure. Speaking of Beyonce and the Beehive,
Oh man, yes.
since it's coming up soon, I think all
Listen,
the ladies are anticipating it. I think the
I
Hive
already
is
have
ready
it.
for it.
Yeah, I already have it in my mind. Nobody better text me or call me that day because I'm not answering.
It's a
I'm
done
just not.
deal.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna answer the phone. I'm gonna have my snacks already. I'm gonna be watching Beyonce, and hopefully she allows us to see the twins and Blue Ivy. And yeah, I'm just gonna get my life and enjoy myself.
That is for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, The Homecoming, Beyonce's film, is coming to Netflix April 17th, I think it is.
Yes.
I guess get your popcorn, get your snacks ready, man. I think this is
Mhm.
a major event. What do you think it's going to be in this? I don't really think it's going to be about much. I just think it's going to be about her and her performance at Coachella. But that's just me personally.
No, I agree. I mean, when I saw the name of the title, Homecoming, it just automatically made me think of Coachella because the whole theme was being at like HBCU
Hmm.
and seeing the colors and the font too. I was like, okay, this is gonna be about Coachella, but I think it's gonna be a really breakdown as to why she did it. There's just the background part that we don't always get to see, and Beyonce does this. I'm not gonna say all the time, but often. She had the Life Is But a Dream with HBO. So like, she has these moments where she lets us see her thought process and brings us into her
Mm.
world. So it's just gonna be that you get to see what went behind it, the preparation, the thought process, her vision. and just everybody else that was involved, how black it was. Oh my God, I loved how black it was. Like that was like one of the blackest things I ever seen.
Hey man, that was a pretty lit performance. I saw that on YouTube too when they were streaming it.
What
That
you
was
had
fire.
swag surf, you had the marching bands, HBCU, you had the guy
Hmm.
like the strolling step in sorority fraternity, like all of that. Like it was just dope. So I think it's gonna be about that. But anything that Beyonce gives me, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna appreciate it.
That is for sure, man. Shout out to the Beehive. Shout out to Beyonce. Also, she's rebranding her I guess athletic wear it is called
Yeah,
Ivy
Ivy
Park.
Park. Yeah.
Now, if memory serves me correct, Beehive, don't kill me for this one. I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke.
Don't worry, I'm here. I got you.
Now she did House of something right beforehand,
House of Darion, that was during the, apple bottom fetish baby fat days.
and I don't think that went too well. You know, what I'm saying, no disrespect.
I mean, listen. We don't got to dwell on the past, okay? It's 2019. People are flourishing, doing great things.
For sure.
We
And
don't
then
got to
Ivy
bring up the
Park,
stuff.
I know I
Yeah,
saw a little bit of like, I thought I saw an ad with SZA was in it. It was
yeah,
popping a little bit. It wasn't really getting up off the ground, but now that she's doing this thing with Adidas, and they're gonna remarket it and rebrand it, you think it's gonna get some plus points? Adidas is looking really fire right now. I think their stock is going up through there. You did what I'm saying?
very hot. Yeah. So I know this stemmed from because before Ivy Park was with Topshop.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the CEO, like the head of Topshop, he has some sort of I think Me Too got him. I think Me Too one Times Up was like,
Well,
yeah, we
really?
see you over there, buddy. We getting you, yeah, because
Damn.
once it was like some controversy that happened with him. Because once that happened, she ended up getting like full ownership of Ivy Park. Because before it was 50-50 between her and Topshop.
Mm.
So she was able to get 100% control of that. And then I guess she was shopping around and landed with Adidas. But it's going to be dope because, again, like you said, Adidas is big right now. Like
Big,
Adidas and
big.
Pumas are like one of the top, if you think about it, when it comes to the artists that they're dealing with, the influences that they're dealing with, and
Mm-hmm.
the product that they're putting out there. And I'm not mad if we get some Beyonce sneakers, Beyonce X Adidas sneakers.
She need to go ahead and hit that collaboration with Pharrell, man. Pharrell making some
Oh,
fire
man.
out there too, man. That should
Yes.
go through the roof.
Yeah, listen, please don't get me started standing for Pharrell. I love Pharrell too, as much as I
Man,
love Beyonce.
protect Pharrell. Protect, of course, it's always gonna be protection around Beyonce when you got the Beehive. Protect the goats, man, all the
Yeah,
time.
agreed.
Lad,
But what do you think though? What's your opinion about this? Do you think Adidas will be able to help Beyonce in a way that the previous collaborator wasn't?
man, fuck Adidas helping Beyonce. Beyonce finna help Adidas with this. Like I said,
These are
like
facts.
all she got to do, they not gonna drop the ball on this. Unfortunately, looks like she shopped at the Reebok and how they dropped the ball over. You know what I'm saying? This is 2019 and you still ain't got at least a half black assistant or somebody on the board, bro. Like
Exactly.
you looking pretty bad out there. You don't even. It wasn't even about being black. You didn't have no diversity. Period.
Listen, there's some people that's still late to the party. They think the ways that, the old white men that's on the top controlling, they think that it's still in those times. And it's like, no, it's whole new times we're living in right now.
That's
Everything is
ridiculous.
changing. Everything is different.
Everything is different. It's kind of like Reebok dropped the ball, like Puma dropped the ball when they didn't sign Kanye. So now that Kanye is over at Adidas, Pharrell, big contributor to Adidas. Now you got the Queen, from the joint teams and make it a man. It's gonna be a triple threat.
Yeah, I will say though, Puma does have Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot about that.
Puma has
Meek Mill.
Meek. Who
Hmm.
else has Puma? I think Emery Jones isn't it sneaker for
Um,
Puma?
how did I forget? They got Emory Jones over there, like a creative director over there too. So they got some good
Yeah.
stock over there too, for sure.
Yeah, but I think those two, like they're really like Adidas and Puma are really starting to see the change in the tide, and they're like, okay,
They catching the
we got to
wave
do things
quick.
different. Yeah,
Yeah, man. I don't know. Nike got to step it up, man. Nike gonna always be Nike, but as we go into a newer time, newer chapters, I feel like Adidas and Puma, they're on that cusp of like, okay, we're gonna be innovative. We're gonna change the game. Whether it's diversity, whether it's collaborating with artists to collaborate artists with shoes and not just ball players. they're being open to trying new things, and that's paying off for them in the long run.
And listen, the designs are looking. Listen,
Hey,
the
fire, right?
designs
Them
are.
shits, they stepping it
Nike,
up.
like you said, Nike, they're gonna have to do something different because the designs, even like Pumas, I remember before, like Puma was, it's not that people wasn't making fun. Well, I'm from New Jersey. People
Yeah,
weren't making fun of you if you had on Pumas, but it wasn't like no, you wasn't willingly going out and getting a pair of
out your way to get
Pumas.
the Pumas. You ain't gonna you're
Yeah,
not gonna pick Pumas over the Jordans on any day.
no, but now people are like, oh, I'm rocking with these Pumas or I'm rocking with these Adidas. Like,
People
so
want
yeah.
something new. Everybody wants something new. You know, I'm tired of buying the same Jordan 5 and fucking. They gonna make a Jordan 5. It's gonna be all steel. Like literally all steel Jordan 5, and motherfucker gonna line up to buy all steel Jordan 5, all clay Jordan 5. Like I'm tired of the same shit in different packaging, bro. I need innovation.
Yeah, and I think people too are starting to realize that we've been getting gypped by Nike for mad years when it comes to like how much we've been paying for sneakers. Whereas now people are like, oh, like I could go get some Pumas or some Adidas and they fly and it's a little cheaper. They going up their
Exactly.
prices too, but I think people are realizing that whole paying $200 or whatever for sneakers that's not like designer sneakers. I don't think people really feeling that no more.
Exactly. And then people already paying like 1,500 for like my great grandmama shoe made by Balenciaga.
Oh yeah, the old like the dad looking
Yeah, they
orthopedic
love them
joints.
though. Cause
Yeah, they do.
I
I'm
hate
not
them.
gonna lie, I got like 2 pairs.
You got the grandmama fives.
I got the grandmama fives and the great auntie ones.
Oh
I
my
do.
god,
Like I can't help it. That's the style. That's the
that's what the
trend and
fashion.
style that's out right now. Anytime you look for a pair of sneakers, everything is extra thick. Gives you like 2 or 3 extra inches of height. Like everything looks like that.
And who knew, bruh? If we go
I know. I'm
back,
not getting too crazy though. I'm not getting
if
too
we go
crazy.
back 20 years, bro, you, that was never the wave. You couldn't be caught dead with that.
No, not at all. What? You couldn't be caught with nothing that looked like Velcro, or it's like you couldn't be caught with none of those.
Nowadays, but these rappers wearing Rick Owens, Ralph Simmons turtlenecks with capri tights made by Balenciaga. With
Listen, these rappers, I swear, some of them are just tacky as hell. They just wear whatever because it's fancy.
Hey, but no matter what my dog wear, we gotta protect Lil Uzi at all costs, man. That's my boy. I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what he dress in, man. He the truth. He got the sauce, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Uzi for president.
Uzi is just so free in life,
So
and
free, bro.
I love it. I want to be that free in life.
He
I'm
don't care
working
about
on it.
nothing, bro. He just be all he want to do is get out his legal trouble or whatever kind of trouble he got with these labels and release music. We need that eternal take. We need that right now. I don't know when it's coming out, but free Uzi, man.
Yes, free Uzi.
Well, I don't want to drag this on too long. I did want to touch on the Kodak situation.
Oh my god.
We just make that real brief, real quick.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my little 2 cents in it. I understand where Kodak was coming from. It was a very inappropriate time to make those kind of suggestions and to say
I
like she
agree.
a whole widow out here. That was distasteful. You don't play like that in a particular time like this for a particular individual like who he was, like Nipsey Hussle. Second, did you see how Tip came to the homie?
I sure did, and I protect Ti at all costs
At
too.
all costs.
We
Ti came
need
in
people
strong.
holding people. Yeah, we need people holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Too long, people just been out here saying whatever, being reckless, being disrespectful. Nah, I like the fact that we're starting to hold people accountable for their actions, and I like the fact that it's happening publicly too.
Yeah,
Because you want to
100%.
disrespect people publicly, then whatever I got to say to you, I'm gonna put it out publicly as well.
But Kodak is a younger guy, you know. So he a younger guy coming from the streets of Florida. Like Charlamagne said this shit all the time. All the craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida. And I'm starting to
This is
believe it,
true.
bro, because motherfuckers from Florida are just a different breed of motherfuckers who it's just real different than the rest of the world. So, you know,
Did
so
you see on
he's
social
different.
media when people were saying like type your birthday and Florida like news headline and see what pops up?
And some of the weirdest shit, like
Some of the craziest things that you would never even.
100%, because that's how weird and crazy Florida is. And then when you take somebody from the inner cities of Florida, you know how it is in the inner cities of our communities wherever we go. But you take them out of Florida, it's just a little bit of a different experience. You know, they got their own swag. I just know that Kodak wasn't coming from an ill place. He was just speaking like barbershop talk. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get it and I understand, but Kodak has been. I think that this man is a terrible rendition of 6ix9ine when it comes to online trolling, because it's always something with Kodak. It's always something, whether he's getting into it with Master P, whether he's talking about Young and May and getting with her, and
Oh
how
my
could she not
god.
want to be penetrated if she got a vagina?
Oh my
To what else?
god.
He
Yeah,
said
that was
something
kind of
else
rough.
crazy about somebody.
That was real cringy when he said that about Young and May. I was like, all
He
right,
said
bro.
something else recently too. It was this that he said about Lauren London. It was Young and May, and it was something else that he did. And I was just like, at this point, he's doing this for attention. I really
Mm.
think he's doing it and saying these things for attention.
You think rappers and like these different artists do things like this for attention?
Yes, especially when people see how successful 6ix9ine was with just trolling. I mean, that didn't work out too well for him now, but when you just see how 6ix9ine was always in the
Oh
headlines
yeah.
for something crazy, and then
Mm-hmm.
because of that, he got a large fan base, and that's how he was able to make music. I think people see it now as like, this is what the industry is, and this is what you got to do to be successful, having these quote unquote numbers. But what they don't realize is that shit don't last long. Who's listening to 6ix9ine's album or music now?
Not really, bro. But
Nobody.
I do miss the trolling. I'm not gonna lie. I am a guilty of that. It's like a guilty
It
pleasure.
was
It was
entertaining. It
very
was,
funny.
yeah, but even when 6ix9ine was trolling, he was trolling with certain things that he shouldn't have been, testing
At
people
all.
like a J Prince. So I feel like now Kodak, like, he's doing the same thing. I feel like he's just trolling, kind of trying to pick up that 6ix9ine baton and get attention. But Kodak isn't one. I know he's a young artist, but he's not one of these artists that need to do things to troll, because Kodak makes great music.
He does. That's my thing.
He makes
Like,
great music.
this is gonna hurt his. Like, DJs are starting to cut, like, not play his music out in LA and other places like Vegas. Like, you got great music. His last album was a slapper on
Yeah.
everything. You know, you don't need this kind of publicity. It's not worth it, you know. But I don't think that he was chasing the publicity. It just kind of caught. I don't even know why he was on live talking like that. You know, where is his PR? Does he have PR?
I don't think he has one. And sometimes when people are so successful and make money, we all know you get the yes men. You got people that's just they're along for the ride and everything is cool and they liking this because you're still on top and you could be as wild as crazy as you want. But then once people start pulling records or they're not supporting you or you're not getting the bookings, the club appearances, you're not appearing at the festivals, then they disappear. So, but Kodak, again, he's always been on social media doing something, whether it's him on IG Live in the shower dropping his phone, or I was
I
just
see
like,
that.
what? Or oh my gosh. Or this is like when he had just got out of jail. Or him, what he was doing, he was on live one time and sneezed, and he's letting boogers run down his nose, and he said, "No, I'm gonna stand here and watch until somebody say bless me." And it's like, bro, you on IG Live, like, you're not. People aren't next to you.
Yeah, he did that. I ain't never
People
heard that.
are on a phone watching you. Yeah, or him and his friends singing Fantasia like on live. So like Kodak's always doing something, and I think it's all comes down to attention and being quote unquote entertaining.
For
But some
sure.
people don't realize that like everybody's not all of y'all celebrities aren't meant to be entertainers, aren't meant to be people that are always broadcasting everything. Some of y'all motherfuckers just need to make your music that's good and keep it at that and stop talking.
Amen to that, man. You hit it right on the head.
Stop
Well, we're going to go
talking.
ahead and wrap it up and close it up. Before we close it up, though, tell the people where they can find you at, man, where to follow you at.
Okay, well, first, before closing, I just want to say thank you so much for having me as a guest. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun, too.
Hey, man,
It didn't
thank
even
you. I appreciate you coming on. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The power of words. Like, when I saw you on YouTube, just in the, I don't know what the fuck I was doing on YouTube, just on YouTube, just fucking off. And I saw you. I was like, man, this shit fire right here, man. I want to one day do a podcast and get you on. Like I said, your words got power. And look at us now. We mobbing.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we've been talking for an hour. It doesn't even feel like it. I feel
I'm
like
telling you, right? Shit.
I'm over here just talking to the homie about everything that's going on. So
Because you got a
this is dope.
passion for this, you know what I'm saying? You like this shit just as much as I like it, you know? And as long as you stay down like you staying down, tenfold, man, you're gonna be running the scene in the future.
Oh
A
man.
thousand percent. I see it. I know this shit. I'm gonna speak it into existence. You
Well,
gonna
I
be
mean, we both gonna be thriving
there. We go.
some way somehow, and
A
we'll be
thousand
able to look
percent.
back. We'll be able to look back, and be like, oh yeah, we've known each other for this long since we both were starting out, and
Hell yeah.
so we'll have one of those stories
Hell
to
yeah.
add to the books. But again,
When
thank
I
you so much.
Hey, no
People can
problem
find
at
me.
all. I was gonna say when I
Um,
interview Diddy, I'm gonna make sure that you my co-host, so we can interview Diddy together. So we can
oh
really
well,
get some
that's
black
cool because
excellence.
I actually got on my vision board. I'm either going to work for Diddy at Revolt or Title creating content for Jay-Z. So listen,
It's lit. Okay, you get the vision board too, man. Shout out to the
yeah,
sisters, man. Y'all
listen,
come through with them
yes,
vision boards, man.
yes, vision boards are necessary,
ASAP,
necessary.
for sure. But let the people
But
know where they can find you at.
yeah, so I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and it's a so ITSA 2_GO, and I actually don't tweet no more because Twitter is reckless as hell and people are savages, and I know I would just be tweeting a whole bunch of ignorant shit that would get me in trouble. So I'm mostly on Instagram, so you can find me there, and then you can also find me on YouTube. By typing in Aisha Go, AYESHA, and then GO, and you'll be able to see all my videos that I put up.
That is for sure. I know I said this was the last shit,
But
but
is this something breaking?
nothing breaking. I just
Okay.
wanted to say like, what's like? Have you listened to any new albums in this past little span of 13 days?
So when Nipsey first passed, I was just listening to all the Nipsey, and then I slowly started to get back into listening to like my usual stuff to boost up my spirits. But I did start listening to Anderson .Paak's new
I was swear
album.
to God, I was just gonna talk about Anderson
You
.Paak.
were
People
okay,
go
man.
listen to that new Anderson .Paak, man. That
Listen.
Ventura
The first song, like straight up off the intro
off
with
the
3 stacks.
intro, 3 stacks.
You're like this is how he's starting it off, really? Like this what so I'm listening to that right now. I gotta fully, digest it and get a sense of it. But so far I'm liking it,
I
and I'm
love it.
just waiting until Schoolboy Q drops because that's what I'm really
Looking
looking
forward
forward
to
to.
Q2. A
Yeah.
lot of people were supposed to drop a little bit earlier, but due to the untimely passing of Nipsey Hussle, everybody's been holding their music back with a lot of respect to that. But I'm really
Respectfully,
looking
yeah.
forward to the later on this month to see what's really dropping. I'm really mad at Kendrick and Cole. They got me again. I fell for that shit. They said they
All
were gonna
about a
drop.
collab project.
They said they were gonna drop the collab album April 5th. I guess that was the April 1st, April Fools for me, because they got me on that one.
Well, so I thought they were gonna continue to do this because remember before at one point it was supposed to come out around like Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and that's when they
Yep.
had jumped on each other's joints, and we thought it was happening. But I'm pretty sure Kendrick's very busy, not
Oh
only with
yeah.
this Black Panther 2 soundtrack that I think he's gonna be working on also, but I know Kendrick has another album coming out because it's been almost 2 years since Damn came out.
Damn, that's the standard.
Kind of, it's like the unofficial standard. It's just certain artists that they drop every like year and a half, 2 years. So
For
like
sure.
me, member of the Beehive,
Yeah,
Beyonce hasn't dropped in I want to say like 2 years
it's coming.
almost. So it's coming.
It's
So it's
coming.
just like certain artists you like know like okay like they getting ready, they coming. And TDE they real sneaky too. They don't never tell us nothing.
Nothing.
So
They keep it on the low for sure. I love how TDE work, man. They've been working real well for a long time.
yeah, and J Rock dropped great. That was my favorite album,
J
2018.
man, what? That was a
Listen,
phenomenal album. I'm so proud of J Rock. He came a long way.
yes. So they had J Rock, and then now Q is coming. So I feel like Q is just the beginning. We'll probably get a project from like Reason, who I think is dope,
Yeah,
Isaiah Rashad,
Reason
but I
is
think Kendrick
hella dope.
Reason is dope. Reason is so dope. One of my favorite new guys, him and JID. But I think
Jid,
Kendrick's coming.
Kendrick's coming for sure. I'm looking forward to Kendrick. That's one of my favorite artists. I seen him like a billion times, at like a billion different concerts. So I'm always looking forward to a new Kendrick project. I'm not gonna
Absolutely.
lie. I want something that's kind of similar to. He can get me to Pimp a Butterfly too. I'll be extremely happy
But
with it.
that's the beauty of Kendrick. He's never gonna give you anything that's the same. Even
Exactly.
Untitled Unmastered wasn't like To Pimp a Butterfly,
It
and that was
wasn't.
like the outtakes and the
Yeah,
throwaways.
and them shits was
So
slap.
listen, you got Swiss Beats 5-year-old son producing joints on there, and I'm just like,
It ain't that little nigga fire.
I'm just like, yo, at 5, I was asking where the fruit snacks at. So
On God.
yeah,
What the
but
Dunkaroos? Like,
yeah,
fuck
like
with me.
man, listen. So, but Kendrick never gonna give us the same thing, and I think that's the beauty of him. That's why he's one of the greatest. So I can't wait to see what he puts out, what type of mood he's in, just what he got to say.
Amen to that. Well, Aisha, man, I really appreciate you jumping on the podcast.
No problem. Thank
We
you
got
so
to do
much
this more
again.
often. We got to do this
Yeah,
more
of
often, for sure.
course, definitely.
Y'all
Anytime.
check out, what is it called again? Let them know what you got on YouTube.
So I do my Renewed or Revoked, which is kind of like my version of Donkey of the Day. So I'm holding people accountable for the bullshit that they do in the culture because I'm just tired of the dumb shit happening. What else I do? I do hip hop confessions where I'm confessing something that's going on in hip hop that is taboo and that I shouldn't say. The latest one I did was saying that Davies ain't got no hits, and people ain't like that too
Oh
much.
yeah, I ain't like that
They was
either, man. You
they was
wildin'.
mad at me. I'm not wild. He doesn't have any hits.
He don't have
That's
no
not
major
saying that
chart
he.
hits, but he got some hits, bro. You know, you
Listen,
hey when
Dave got to
you
get to that next level.
man,
He
I
got to
feel
get
what
to
you're
the next
saying,
level.
man, but
In order for him to get to the next level, you got to tap into different demographics and different audiences that don't know you. So yes, we know on the mixtape he got fired, but in order for him to get to that next level, to get to have songs charting and be the big artist that we want to see him as and have his name big on the festival lineup, he needs some hits.
that
And
is
he
for
signed
sure.
to a major label. So you think he not going to get pressure from a label that's giving money and investing in him, that they're not going to say that he need hits, that they need a return on their investment?
I feel you on that, and I don't feel like he can't make no hit. Like the boy got fired. Like
That's the thing. I didn't say he can't. I said that I do think he can. That I do think he can. I do think that he can. That sounds so weird. I believe in him.
okay, there
I
we
know
go.
he could do. Yeah, I said in the video I believed in him. I know he could do it, and I said I want him to do it. And I'm just using this as constructive criticism because
For sure.
I want him to get to that next level, and I believe in him. I think he needs to get with because we're having a hit. It's all about having the right people around you. It's about alignment. So it got to be the right time. It got to be the right feature, producers. Everything just got to line up. But I know he's capable of doing it. He's gonna do it. But I'm just saying he needs it.
Yeah, man. I don't know how that shit work at these labels. I would love to, but I know time get the ticking, and before you know it, they gonna try to shelf you,
Yup.
and then this shit gonna get nasty. But Dave East is one of my favorite out of New York, man. I really want to see that
He's
brother
dope.
prosper.
He's dope. And again, like you said, the labels will shelve you, and then who knows what your contract is like. You might not
Yeah.
be able to put out any projects, so you're gonna be stuck either performing your old stuff or trying to do freestyles off of other people's stuff to still keep your name out there. Look, that's what happened to Cash Doll.
You think
She
Cash
had a
Doll
bad
fell out?
no. She had a bad contract and she wasn't able to put music out.
Damn.
So people only knew her for her past stuff. She had to keep doing that and like doing little freestyles and building up her social media to continue to get her following up until she was able to get out of that contract and actually now she's gonna be able to release music. But I'm saying the business side of things, people forget that it's still a business and
Yeah, man. It's a
people
funky
people
business
want their
at
money
that.
back. People
For
put
sure.
money into you, they want their money back and more. So
For
I'm
sure.
wishing for the best for Dave. He's gonna be all right. He need a hit.
Well, Ashley, thank you for being on the show, man.
No problem.
Guys,
Thank
it's the
you
seventh
again.
wonder of the world, Taj Mahal. We out of here.
Bye.